Akron Athletics presents Zips Weekly with Joe Moorhead. Sponsored by Bryant Heating and Cooling and Akron Hilton Fairlawn. And now your host, Joe Dunn.
Hello again, everyone, and welcome to the final edition of Zips Weekly for the 2023 season with head football coach Joe Moorhead. We're going to look at highlights from Friday's tough loss to Ohio University, talk about some of the top individual performances, then talk a little recruiting as we look ahead to the 2024 season, which will open up August 31st in Columbus against the Ohio State Buckeyes. Coach, boy, everything looked good at halftime. We're up 14-3. I thought everything was going well, utilizing your two quarterbacks well, defense playing well, and too bad we couldn't have continued that into the second half.
Yeah, truly a tale of two halves. I thought it was our best 30 minutes of complementary football, offense, defense, and special teams working together to build a 14-3 lead against a 9-win team who has a chance to get to 10 in the bowl game, but came out of the locker room after halftime and just weren't able to get it moving offensively and had trouble stopping them on defense and gave up a fake punt. So it was just not good enough in the second half.
I talked to you briefly after the game, Coach. I thought you utilized your two quarterbacks very well. Undercuffler, Taj Bullock came in, played well. So those two guys kind of complemented each other in the first half. Yeah,
when you lose a guy of DJ's caliber, obviously a all-conference performer that can beat you with his arm and his legs, and the two guys behind him, you're trying to find the best of both worlds, and for 30 minutes we were able to do that.
Exactly. Well, let's go back to Friday afternoon, Infocision Stadium, the final game of the 2023 season. The Zips win the toss and defer, and the Bobcats are going to take that first possession, Coach, and get a field goal. They're up 3-0 early. Yeah,
a little bit of bend but don't break. Gave up some conversions on third down. But when we get into the red zone defensively, we always talk about limiting the opposition to 3 or 0, and we held them to a field goal.
Lingard finishes his career with Akron with a pretty good football game.
Yeah, ended up with over 1,000 all-purpose yards. Had a completion error on second down and got behind the sticks with the penalty and came up a little short on third down.
Yeah, and you're seeing action in the first half from Friday's game to Ohio University. They're up 3-0 on the Zips, but hang on, you're going to see a couple of good things happen in a few minutes as the Zips will take a 14-3 lead. Good hit there. I think that was Lewis that came in.
Yeah, Lewis came in, really tightened up defensively, didn't give up any more points for the rest of the half, and was able to get the ball moving on offense. Good third down conversion here to Josiah.
Ground level, Coach. Again, it was Gathings with the catch.
Yeah, this is a defense that was ranked in the top 5 in the country in points allowed, and it was a very optimistic first half, and we were able to move the ball fairly well.
Saw that pass out of the backfield, Coach, to Drake Anderson, who once he got into open space, he's got a pretty good burst.
Yeah, very fast. Good change of direction. Wish we would have been able to get him involved a little more and kind of use his skill set. But Drake had a couple nice receptions on Friday.
Just back on offense, going to throw that out. They're going to come back to the football, and good second effort. I think it's going to get us the first down. Yeah,
Lorenzo got up to almost 400 yards receiving and had some nice receptions. Obviously, the long one for the touchdown.
Daniel George with the reception there, and again, Akron running the football. Offensive line, Coach, you think about Friday's performance?
Yeah, they. Did you say offensive line?
Yes.
Yeah. I thought we did some decent things in the run game. We struggled to protect at times, but it was probably from a consistency level about the same as we saw throughout the course of the year.
Saw Taj Bullock running. Now he's going to throw it out, and this is going to be the touchdown. And once he gets into that second level, Coach, he can show what type of football player he is.
Yeah, and that's a great thing for Lorenzo. Leaving Florida and looking for an opportunity to help a team get better and improve and build and get some tape to play at the next level. I think he checked off all those boxes.
Yeah, he made a great cut to the sideline, and here's Owen Wiley with the extra point, and quickly the Zips are up 7-3 in that second quarter.
Yeah, good start. Feeling good about the momentum.
Defense now playing well with the lead. That Bobcat offense, Coach, they can do a little bit of everything.
Very challenging with Bangura as the running back. Obviously, Rourke, the returning player of the year, and the Wagless kid right there in the slot, as well as the Cross kid, and a good tight end. Very well balanced. Not a very fast tempo, but look to get in the right play, and they've been able to score a bunch of points over the past 2 years.
Saw KJ Martin with a good pass breakup a few plays ago, and then from ground level, we're going to watch this Zip defense swarm to the ball carrier.
Yeah, trying the quick screen out there to the running back to get into field goal range, and guys did a good job with block destruction on the perimeter.
We're going to talk about your linebackers a little bit later, Coach, but I thought they played exceptionally well. I think Fish came up with 16 tackles on Friday.
He did. He had to do something. McCoy was out of the game with an illness. We didn't find that out till the morning of the game, so that's a big blow. Yeah, Antavius did a great job stepping up.
Got a good block here. Got that double screen, Coach, popped for you.
Yeah, 4th down, double screen. If you have numbers to the boundary, man-to-man to the field. And Daniel did a good job there. Good block by Josiah.
Here's why Taj Bullock can be an exceptional quarterback. He can run, he can throw at about 230 pounds. He's going to run that option left, and they can't bring him down.
Yeah, I think, second straight game where he's thrown for one and ran for one. And I think you're seeing some of the ability and the talent and the potential that we were expecting when we recruited Taj out of the portal.
Mentioned Jake Newell, a pretty good block there to spring him.
Yeah, Jake's had a nice season as well for his first extended time as a Division I starter.
There's a good sack coming in from that right side. Bennett Adler's got back-to-back sacks, and he just sets a bull rush and he gets to him.
Yeah, 2.5 tackles for loss, 2 sacks. Bennett had his best game of the season.
Here he comes again, back-to-back plays, and he's tackling a 6'5", 230-pound quarterback.
Yeah, Rogues like Big Ben, big customer back there, hard to bring down. Great job by Bennett.
Yeah, he's a guy you've talked about before, Coach. He gets everything he can out of the talent he has.
Yeah, he has. Great practice habits.
Yeah.
Plays with tremendous motor. Not the most physically talented guy, but as you mentioned, squeezes every ounce of production he can out of his ability.
Watching highlights from Friday afternoon. Right now, the Zips 14-3. We're going to take a break, come back and watch second half highlights right after this.
It takes attention to detail. With your local Bryant dealer, you're getting more than just a technician. You're getting someone who pays attention to your needs and the little things that make a big difference. It takes a dealer you can rely on. And to keep your family warm this winter,
here, let me show you how this works.
It takes Bryant.
Bryant, whatever it takes.
And to keep your family comfortable, it takes E.H. Roberts Heating and Cooling. Find them at ehroberts.com.
Come on over and check out what we're doing. Let's go! Here we go now.
Okay, welcome back to Zips Weekly with head football coach Joe Moorhead. Our final show of the season. The Zips, of course, lose a tough one Friday afternoon to Ohio University. And, Coach, we deferred. Now we're going to get the football back to start the second half. Let's pick up highlights from Friday afternoon over at InfoCision Stadium. I think you're going to take over at the 25-yard line. Going to get, I think, a first down with the pass to George, and then things get tough after that.
Yeah, we, some execution errors along the line, some things that we should be able to do very simply that unfortunately weren't able to do. Picked up the first down on the first throw here to DG.
Yeah.
And then, unfortunately after that, we went 3 and out.
It's Teray Jones coming in, I think, for the sack.
Yeah, Teray, good bounce back by him after missing the last game with upper body injury, and guy in his last year eligibility, transferred from a 1AA school, really done a nice job this season.
We're going to talk about the portal in our third segment. You picked up an awful lot of good football players in that portal last year.
We did, and it's really kind of been a positive aspect to what we're trying to build. It's also, as most schools and coaches will tell you, something that's incredibly challenging.
Yeah.
And I think we'll talk recruiting here in a little bit, but that thing's going to open up for a 30-day window on the 4th of December, and it's going to be absolute mayhem.
We'll talk about that in the next segment. You can see the Bobcats heading down into the end zone, and once they get down into that red zone, Coach, they are tough because you got a big quarterback, you got to watch what he can do, and you got some tough running backs.
Yeah, and the thing that they excel at, they're a big team that runs the, runs load option and the speed option, and when you're down there at the goal line and you're pinching and trying to cancel out the inside gaps and you're rushing off the edge, they did a nice job with the option throughout the course of the day.
We've talked about Blake Hester a lot, Coach, and he finally broke one. I think that was for about 30 yards up the sideline.
Yeah, we were waiting, and he finally hit one and put us in good field position. Unfortunately, took a shot on the first play, weren't able to do much with it, and had to punt.
Zips down 18-14. As you can see, not much time left in the third quarter as we move to the fourth quarter on Friday afternoon. And Zips still in this football game, Coach, with a lot of football left to go.
Yeah, talk to the guys on the sideline. As we say every week, we prepare well. We play with great effort. We'll look up in the fourth quarter with a chance to win the game, and held true again. You know, a 4-point game heading into the fourth, and unfortunately the defense had them stopped on a 3rd and 4, and then they converted with a fake punt to extend the drive, and that's the score that kind of, I don't want to say put the game out of reach, but made it a true 2-score game.
Goal line defense stops them a couple times, Coach, but finally they get in to make it 25-14.
Yeah, we got the ball back, weren't able to move it, and they were able to just piece a drive together and kind of milk the clock out, and eventually, get down to where they had to take the knee.
I think they played an error-free second half. We couldn't turn them over.
Yeah, this is it's a very good football team. You talk about turnover margin being a part of the game, and we gave it away once and didn't take it away at all, and that plays a part of it.
Saw Bobby Gold with the catch coming out of the slot, and there's the final handshake. The Zips lose this one 25-14, Coach. But again, outstanding first half. Showed the potential of this football team, I think, in those first 2 quarters.
Yeah, just a matter of consistency, and we're looking back 2 years in a row now, 10 games, one score in the fourth quarter, and it's unfortunately a bunch of shoulda, coulda, woulda, and at the end of the day, that's still a didn't. So I've got to do whatever's necessary to make sure, heading into next season, that we've got to find a way to finish these close games off in the fourth quarter, because we're looking at a much different record and much different outcomes. But obviously I've got to do a better job, and that's got to trickle down to the coaches and the players. Yeah,
the fans that have watched our show each week realize how close we have become with the 3 overtimes. I still look at that Temple game, Coach. If we could have pulled that one out, that might have been the motivation for the rest of the season.
Yeah, I think the two I won't say turning points, but what could have been a catalyst to build a confidence in a team that's not accustomed to winning was closing out that Temple game, and then obviously missing a field goal as time expires to beat a Big Ten team on the road. I mean, you're looking at a completely different feel coming out of non-conference play. You're 3-1 heading into the league instead of 1-3, and that to a team that lacks confidence, that's a huge difference.
As we said, the Zips lose this one to Ohio University on Friday. We're going to take a break. There were some outstanding individual performances on Friday. We're going to talk to the coach about those, so don't go away. We're back right after this timeout.
It takes attention to detail. With your local Bryant dealer, you're getting more than just a technician. You're getting someone who pays attention to your needs and the little things that make a big difference. It takes a dealer you can rely on. And to keep your family warm this winter,
here, let me show you how this works.
It takes Bryant.
Bryant. Whatever it takes.
And to keep your family comfortable, it takes E.H. Roberts Heating and Cooling. Find them at ehroberts.com.
Come on over and check out what we're doing. Let's go! Here we go now.
Okay, welcome back to Zips Weekly. There were some outstanding performances Friday afternoon. Zips got beat by Ohio University. Let's start with the defense, Coach. We mentioned Antavius Fish, who improved so much from that sophomore to junior year. He had 16 tackles Friday against Ohio. That was a great performance.
Yeah, great example of building your roster through high school, junior college, and the portal. Antavius, a guy that really didn't have a bunch of other offers coming out of junior college. I think our staff made a great evaluation, and he's coming in turn to what I believe. I think the all-league voting starts today. I think he'll garner some all-league recognition. He's had a really nice season.
C.J. Nunnally is another guy, Coach, you brought from junior college, and he's turned into one of the better defensive ends in the league. He had 7 tackles, 1 quarterback hurry on Friday.
Yeah, statistically, he's generated an all-league season. The past 3 or 4 weeks, you could see the respect the opponents have for C.J. Sliding the protection to his side, or keeping a tight end or a back end to double team him. You know, and that's you know, a testament to what he's done at the beginning part of the season. Now we got to. That's how guys like Adler on the other side become singled up because teams are devoting so much attention to CJ.
Yeah. Mentioned Bennett Adler out of St. Ignatius up in Cleveland. I think a perfect example of a young guy coming into the program, getting coached up and getting better and better and better. Now he's key on your defense, looking ahead.
Yeah, Coach Wortman's done a really nice job with his development. You know, a guy that, you know, you look at and you're not. You know, he doesn't kind of have the height, the length, you know, the speed of some of the other guys, but a guy that just finds a way to make plays. And, you know, at a certain point we're talking about maybe moving him inside because we were short a little bit at defensive tackle. But, you know, Bennett's a guy that's really worked his tail off, been a great program guy, you know, never shows up on any lists just a guy that is low maintenance and high production.
Shimon Cooper's a guy who played a lot on Friday because of the illness with McCoy, and he came and maybe had one of his better games. Yeah,
steadily throughout the course of the past few games, Shimon's, you know, gotten more opportunities and seen his production increase. And you know, we don't. They all come back, so you know, that's positive.
Offensively, how about Lorenzo Lingard? Finished his Akron career, showing why he was one of the top running backs that come out of Florida in high school, and did a lot on Friday, Coach, and did a lot during the season.
Yeah, it was good to see him, you know, get rolling in the second half of the season. You know, run the ball more effectively and explosively, and I think he was over 400 yards receiving for the season. You know, I think close to 700 rushing. So a guy who, as we talked about earlier, really did a nice job for us, and you know, sure he's excited for his pro day, and I think he'll get a look. I think he'll be able to get into a camp.
Yeah, I do too. I think he's got some potential. How about Jeff Undercuffler and Taj Bullock? We talked about what they did in the first half on Friday. Taj Bullock especially, Coach, we saw him come in late in the summer after transfer for Virginia Tech. Hasn't gone through a spring yet, but showed some potential in that first half, what he can do.
Yeah, he's a very highly recruited kid coming out of high school, went to Virginia Tech, and you know, like a lot of guys, we get out of the portal for one reason or the other, whether it be playing time or coaching change or some other circumstance that's beyond their control. You know, look for a change of scenery, and I think Taj has benefited from, you know, playing in our system and, you know, a bunch of years of eligibility left, and the guy's got a lot of potential.
Josiah Gatings, who had some injury problems with the Zips, finally got healthy this year, Coach, and showed what he can do. He probably was your primary receiver going down the stretch.
Yeah, with you know, losing Shockey, which was you know, a lot of production, and then missing Alex Adams, our first team All-League player for a majority of the season with a nagging injury. Between Josiah and Daniel George, I think both of them ended up with over 50 catches and over 500 yards, which wasn't as high as the three guys with over 60 we had last year, but you know, snaps were down, and you know, we didn't, you know, convert third downs as much as we did last year, but definitely with Josiah and Daniel George, you know, two guys on the outside that had a nice season.
We're going to take a break. When we come back, we'll talk about recruiting. We'll talk about the transfer portal. We'll talk about the schedule, so don't go away. We'll talk 2024 Akron football right after this.
It takes attention to detail. With your local Bryant dealer, you're getting more than just a technician. You're getting someone who pays attention to your needs and the little things that make a big difference. It takes a dealer you can rely on. And to keep your family warm this winter,
here, let me show you how this works.
It takes Bryant.
Bryant. Whatever it takes.
And to keep your family comfortable, it takes E.H. Roberts Heating and Cooling. Find them at ehroberts.com.
Come on over and check out what we're doing. Let's go! Here we go now.
Okay, welcome back to Zips Weekly. Our scouting report has been brought to you all season long by the Hilton Akron Fairlawn Hotel. We're going to scout the 2024 season right now. If you're a Zip fan, you know that it wasn't too long ago we were scheduled to open up the season with Kentucky. Now the Zips will head to Columbus on August 31st to take on the Ohio State Buckeyes. Other road games next year will include at Rutgers, at South Carolina, and to say the least, Coach, that is a challenging non-conference schedule.
Yeah, thought Michigan State, Kentucky, and Liberty were challenging year one.
Yeah.
And A.D. Guthrie said, "Hold my beer." He's wanted to see how much more. But yeah, certainly Ohio State and South Carolina and the SEC and Rutgers, who's now a Big Ten bowl eligible team. It'll certainly be an opportunity to play against some of the more challenging teams in two of the best conferences.
You've got a good nucleus, I think, of players coming back, Coach, and now you add on. You talked about the transfer portal. Tell us about that. I think you mentioned December 4th is when it'll all open up.
Yeah, it's open for graduates, any players who are on a team where the coach is fired or leaves, and then walk-ons. That's a rolling window. And then for everybody, it goes from December 4th until January 3rd. It's a 30-day window. And, it'll turn into complete anarchy here in a little bit.
And, of course, the high school early signing period is always the third Wednesday in December. I think it's December 20th this year, and that's when you'll sign your high school kids.
Yeah, we'll have our first official visit weekend this Friday, Saturday, Sunday. We've got 12 high school players committed. Unfortunately, we're not allowed to talk about them by name. So our coaches will get on the road. That starts the contact period actually this Friday, but we're not going to go out until Monday, just because we have the weekend, and then you'll have 3 weeks to be on the road and visit your guys, and hopefully put a very solid class of high school, JUCO, and portal players together for signing day one.
I guess the obvious question is, Coach, when the portal opens up, what are you looking for? What do you add on? You got some really good defensive players coming up, 4 deep in linebacker. You got some young defensive linemen, secondary, offensive line, quarterback. What are you looking for?
Everything.
Everything. Okay.
Just looking to improve the size, the speed, the athleticism, and the playability of all our guys. And it's a line of scrimmage game, and you got to work it from the inside out. So I think offensive line and defensive line will be the priorities, and then. We have a needs by number analysis where you have 85 scholarships and then a certain number that are allotted to each position, and then the number that are leaving per year, and then consequently the number that you got to fill in. So we're going through that. I mean, we've known how many we're working through that right now, and just making sure we're divvying those up, appropriately between high school, JUCO, and portal.
As I travel around northeastern Ohio, Coach, I get a lot of people coming up to me and saying, "Why doesn't Coach Moorhead recruit this kid or that kid?" And I tell them they got to be able to play Division I football. We looked at the schedule, Coach. You can't take everybody. You've got to get guys that can play at this level.
Yeah, we're going to recruit obviously from the inside out. Yeah. And everywhere I've been as a head coach or a coordinator, that's been our philosophy, that you're going to start from where the school's located and work out in 2 hours, 6 hours, and then outside of 6. And we evaluate everybody. And as you see, recruiting and NFL draft evaluations are always an inexact science, so I'm not saying that our staff or any staff always gets it right, but I think there's a bunch of years of experience of doing this at a very high level that have led to a bunch of wins and championships. Right. So I feel comfortable with our process, and anyone that coaches or people around the area think can play, they're going to send the names in. I send them the position coaches, and we evaluate them.
Exactly. We mentioned Taj Bullock, who has not gone through a spring practice. How much better will he get going through the spring?
He'll be very valuable. Came in the summer and was able to go through fall camp, and DJ was kind of in and out through the course of fall camp. So we got Taj a bunch of valuable reps in fall camp. Obviously, as the backup, and in some points the starter throughout the season. But to have an entire off season to watch the cut-ups, go through position meetings, and then have 15 spring practices. That'll be valuable for his development overall, and then certainly for the rest of the team as well.
I think you redshirted every freshman except 2, Coach, so it takes a pretty good young kid coming into play.
Yeah, Norton and Marcus Moore were the 2 guys who didn't redshirt and really, benefited from that valuable experience of playing at this level and getting used to the speed and the physicality of the game. But aside from that, the rest of the guys, we slapped the red shirt on, and we'll have 4 years of eligibility for them.
Coach, best of luck in the recruiting process and for next season. We'll talk to you soon. Thank you for watching all season long. For Coach Joe Moorhead, I'm Joe Dunn, and always remember, go Zips.
Thanks for watching Zips Weekly with Joe Moorhead. Sponsored by Bryant Heating and Cooling and Akron Hilton Fairlawn.
This has been a presentation from Learfield IMG College.